So I guess I'll walk you through some of the new features that we have in RX6. Specifically for the post people, we have some really exciting machine learning technology, mostly isolated to dialogue isolate and De-rustle. We also have De-wind, which is new to RX6, and we also have some great stuff for vocal editing like De-plosive, a brand new De-esser and stuff, and we have Composite View too. So let's just start out with dialogue isolate. So brand new to RX6 is dialogue isolate. Sometimes when we're dealing with production sound or something like that, we're dealing with a moving target as far as the noise floor goes. It's not just a hum or a background hum or a hiss or whatever. It's convention center, wallow, something like that. And we have, in this case, I think someone is trying to launch a boat in this example. We have some dialogue that we want to hear. We want to get rid of some of the noise that's interfering with the dialogue. So I'll just play the sample for you and see if you can hear it.
That's my grandfather there, and he started the boatyard in 1888. That's my father over there.
So what we're hearing now is some rustle. So that's the lavalier microphone coming into contact with the versus to close. It could be facial here too, anything that interferes with the capsule on the mic. So I'm going to go over to the new De-rustle module, call it up here, and I'll set my reduction strength, so how hard I want to hit that rustle. Bring it up to about 7. And we can also preserve the ambience. So if there's a really rich noise floor that we want to keep, we don't want to get that disrupted by the De-rustle module. We can keep that in there. In this case, I'll bring it to around 50%. And I'll do a quick pass here, press process. If you see on the spectrogram, you're going to see a big reduction in sort of color. All that sort of cyan is sort of attenuated, and we're left with just the dialogue going left to right here. So here's before.
That's my grandfather there, and he started the boat.
Here's after.
That's my grandfather there, and he started the boatyard in 1888. And that's my father over there.
So basically, what we did with De-rustle is that we used machine learning to inform the algorithm of what is rustle and what is dialogue. So, you know, if we want a little bit of light rustling in there, we can keep it strong, but sort of maintain the integrity of the vocal too, or we can just sort of attenuate the rustle if we want to. Depending on the project, you want to find a sort of sweet spot, but with one very quick pass of De-rustle, we went from a noisy background to something that's really solid and also maintains the integrity of the vocal performance. So the next thing I want to show you is dialogue isolate, and that's also machine learning informed. And to find it, here. So I'll play this sort of before sample for you. You'll probably hear a bit of a moving target kind of background. It's not like it's going to be a hum or a hiss or anything like that. I think we're going to hear some clicks and pops and stuff.
So let's try it once more. 1, 2, 3.
So in this example, they have like a boat. They're going to like push it out sort of into the water. So especially in that 1, 2, 3 moment, for this project, we want to hear that a boat is being pushed out, right? We don't want it being competing with the dialogue. So with dialogue isolate, just like the little portion here, go down. And we see a couple of options here: dialogue gain, noise gain, and separation strength. Dialogue gain, of course, is how present we want our dialogue to be. We want it to be center stage. Dialogue is king, right? Especially in the post world. So I'm going to leave it right here at 0. Now the noise gain controls just how loud we want the noise floor to be. In this case, I want to bring it down, but not too far down, because again, context is important. We're pushing out a boat, so I want that to be there. I just don't want it competing with the dialogue. Separation strength, again, is how hard I want this processor to be doing its job. So in this case, I'm pretty happy with it sort of at its default of 5. Press process. So now we hear this.
1, 2, 3.
Before we have this.
1, 2, 3.
So we're sort of being attenuated to the background now, and the vocal, the dialogue is center stage.
1, 2, 3.
And there's no speech loss intelligibility. There's no like, I don't know, you say 1, 2, 3. It's clear we get those numbers out. Things are sort of in the background now. And that's brand new to RX6 Advanced. Dialogue isolate, great for moving target sort of background noise.
Try and just deconstruct before you achieve that.
Deconstruct is a super, really awesome tool. And this is like It's like Deconstruct 2.0, where it's specifically designed to really maintain the integrity of the vocal performance. But yeah, Deconstruct is awesome. For people who don't know about it, I'm always like, just stick around, I'll show you like a Deconstruct demo. The other cool thing we have in RX6 is de-wind. So wind is often a problem. I think I started with de-wind, but I was actually looking at a De-rustle sample. Let's open de-wind right now. So we all know de-wind, right? Some wind hitting the capsules. This module is great for intermittent wind noise. If we have like a constant wind noise going left to right, we might do a couple passes, but this is really great for just wind interrupting. In this case, I think it's an Omni lavalier microphone, so have a listen.
I actually really love, so I grew up in New England, and it wasn't...
We don't need a sub to bring that out. You guys can all hear it. So I'll call up de-wind, little windsock next to it. Again, some quick parameters here. Reduction. How hard do I want to hit this sample? The crossover frequency, I'm basically saying, you know what? Everything below the frequency I've chosen here is going to get affected by the wind. In this case, I can see from my spectrogram, which has my frequencies represented from 0 to 20,000 hertz. Once the wind is causing trouble at around 300 hertz, I'd say, right around there. So I'm just going to set this to about 350. Fundamental recovery is really cool because, yes, after we process this sample, some of these wind noises were attenuated, but we also have to damage some of the fundamental frequencies of that vocal. We can sort of reconstruct them using frequencies to sort of bring them back, make sure there's no speech loss intelligibility. In this case, this is a female vocal, so we don't have rich harmonics happening sort of below 300, 400 hertz. But if we did, we just sort of bring that up. Artifact smoothing, this just makes sure that the process when it powers this module doesn't add any musical noise. Some people say that it sounds kind of watery or something like that. If after you process it does, we just sort of bring up artifact smoothing to really make sure that it's a nice, smooth, very sort of artifact-free result on the after side. So I'm pretty happy with those settings. We'll press process. I'll just process the entire sample. There we go. So we can see on the spectrogram, things have been attenuated. Back.
I actually really love, so I grew up in New England, and it wasn't until I was like much older that I ever went to the Southwest, and I've never been more surprised by a landscape. But when you're in the Southwest, you could be on an alien planet, from the red rock structures to the canyon.
So it's pretty impressive, pretty dramatic before and after. If I want to, I can go in, because I can see there's still some sort of interference happening here and here. It's not that audible. There's a pretty loud noise floor here at the convention, but what we recommend people do is just do a couple passes with some low reduction settings. Imagine you're painting a wall. Instead of throwing the whole can of paint at the wall, just a couple thin sort of layers to really get a nice smooth result. So that's dialogue isolate, de-wind, and de-rustle. Those are all brand new to RX6 Advanced. There's also some other really cool stuff. We have a new de-bleed module, which can attenuate the bleed from, let's say, a headphone click track that's bleeding into a microphone. People are producing a lot of music at home, or let's say you're in a post situation and you've got two people in an interview, and mic A and mic B, and mic B is bleeding into mic A, mic A is bleeding into mic B. So in this example, it's a click track. So I'm going to bring this down. I know it's a hot sample, so I'll bring it down so it don't hurt your ears. But have a listen and see if you can hear the click that I'm talking about. It's pretty audible, but in an area like this, you might miss it.
The sunrise sheds light on anticipant eyes.
You guys get the message. We can also see the click track right here when it comes down the screen. See sort of throughout. So what we need to do is make sure that we have the click track source, the source of the bleed, and also the track that has the bleed printed on it. In this case, I've got the active track, and I have just the click track, which is this. So brand new to RX6 is de-bleed. I'll call it up here. I'm just going to make sure that my click track source that I played with just the click on it is in the bleed source drop-down menu, excuse me. And I'll press learn, and it's going to analyze the relationship between the track with the bleed on it and the track with that just contains the click track source. I'll press process. And now here's the result.
The sunrise sheds light on anticipant eyes. We sway to the rhythm, our gaze toward the skies.
So once again, just before.
The sunrise sheds light on anticipant eyes.
Hopefully you can notice that we don't lose anything that was really important to the integrity of the vocal. It's not like we're compromising by running De-bleed. Sometimes you do these things, you'll flip the phase, and suddenly the vocal's a bit softer, it's lost its light. But in this case, we maintain the integrity and the soul of the performance, but we get rid of that click track. So that's brand new to RX6 as well. A little bit of another sort of new feature to RX6. I got to get rid of some of the examples here first, though. And it's our brand new Composite View. It's really cool. So I'm dragging in 5 files. This is a multi-mic drum setup. We have our kick track, overhead left, right, room, and snare. Although this is a musical example, I want you guys to sort of think of maybe bringing in an orchestra. And you've got a deca tree, and you've got some close mics. Could be all here too, maybe like a chair squeak or something sort of interrupts things where a cell phone goes off. So you have all of your files right here. It's the same audio event, but we have different sort of angles, right? Go through, they're all here. Brand new to RX6, we can take all of these mics and collapse them, nest them into one composite view. So now they're all sort of nested in one view, and I can sort of affect all of the audio on those individual tracks just from here, from the bird's eye composite view. So it's a little hard to hear, but a cell phone is actually going off during this drum performance, so I'll turn it up, but I don't want to turn it up too loud. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I'll do it one more time. It's twinkly. So the bottom line is, I can go in with spectral repair and just drag a selection here over where I'm hearing that cell phone interference. And again, it could be anything from a cell phone to a cough, a squeak, a chair squeak. Attenuate it. And now it sounds like this. And before it sounded like this. The important takeaway is that if I uncollapse all of my composite tabs, the change that I just made is reflected in each one of these tabs. So if I go, you know what, in the room mic, that cell phone wasn't that loud, so I can just go in my undo history window right here and go back to the initial state. But all the changes I made in the other tabs are still there. So you can imagine this sort of tool in a really cool post scenario, again, with an orchestra or any sort of multi-mic thing. Something interferes with it, we get in, attenuate it, get out, continue work. So that's brand new to RX6 Composite. What else do we have here? Yeah, some of these examples are great, but the noise floor is so loud that I worry if you'll hear the difference. But let me show you a mouth D-click example. So I'll play the sample back. Some of you guys are familiar with D-click. Well, we've given that module, the technology behind it, its own sort of home now in mouth D-click, aimed specifically at attenuating, basically getting rid of those sort of noisy, the lips opening and closing, the tongue going up and down, that sort of thing. That can be really distracting to listeners for like a long podcast, having to listen to someone who's dehydrated, just clicking around. So let's see if you can hear some of the clicks in this example.
It depends on the genre of music that I'm going to see.
So that's, we can hear it there, I can hear it. But I've heard this sample forever. So if I open up the module, you see sensitivity, frequency skew, click widening. Sensitivity, again, is like how is the module, like how far is it looking for the clicks? How many clicks do we want it to detect? There might be some like non-clicky stuff in there that's actually really important to the vocal, and we want to make sure that we're only targeting and attenuating those clicks. So one thing I can do is just output clicks only, and then go back and play the sample.
It depends on the.
Gotta hit preview to do that. Sorry. So there it is. So if unclick this box. I'll just run a rough pass here, just process.
It depends on the genre of music that I'm going to see.
Just one sort of, just one pass, you know what I mean? A couple of default settings. We've gotten rid of those mouth clicks, and now our listeners don't have to be distracted by a dehydrated presenter or something like that. I have another really cool module that I want to show you. It's called Breath Control. And we'll bring it up here. Alright, so we're back to this example. It's also an especially sibilant example, so I'm sorry. We'll get rid of the sibilants in a minute, but I want to draw your attention to a sharp intake of air. It happens right here at around 6.5, right there. So, have a listen.
Is up and dies with sweet.
So brand new to RX6 is the breath control module. Call it up. I'm going to go into target mode, and what this is going to do is sort of look at all the information around that breath. In this case, it's the dialogue, and it'll sort of attenuate it naturally in relation to all the other information we have here. Instead of just brute force, it's going to go down by 60 dB. It might sound kind of unnatural, so take this down here to about minus 60. And just to be, again, extra sure that this module is only going to take away the breath noise and not really other important stuff. Output breaths only, I'll hit preview. There it is. So now I'll press process. And we've seen that it's been attenuated. We see a decrease in sort of color right there. So you'll notice that this gets rid of the breath, but it's still sort of audible to make it natural, to make it sort of authentic still.
Is up and dies with sway to the rib.
So you guys are probably hearing some sibilants, high frequency information, words with the letter S in them. Play this back, you guys can hear it.
The sunrise sheds light on and 'tis up and dies with sway to.
All right here, we can see very clearly in the spectrogram that things are really lighting up in that region. So that again can be really distracting for the listener, whether it's in a music performance or just a voiceover or something like that. So brand new to RX6, and this is in standard as well as in advanced, is the De-ess module. So we have classic mode, which I think everyone is sort of used to. Spectral, though, really targets just the sibilant events and leaves the rest of the integrity of the underlying harmonics of the voice alone. Before, things were sort of compressing every time there was an S. Now we're just focusing our attention on just those sibilant events. So I'll just highlight a little passage here. And control vocal sibilants are like that preset. Take it off absolute.
The sunrise sheds light on and 'tis up and dies. The sunrise sheds light on and 'tis up and dies.
Happy with that threshold setting, just press process, and they all go down. And again, if we want to really make sure that we're only targeting the S's and not other important information, output S only. It's important if you're working for a client, you know what I mean, and you're like, oh, I'll de-ess it, and the module is getting rid of other stuff that's not S's, and they're like, hey, does my plosive sound funny, then my words sound weird. Go back and really make sure that you can confidently send off an exported file that's only taking care of those S sounds. So that's De-ess. So process that whole file. We also have De-plosive, which should be familiar to some of the original users of RX, but we've sort of updated it with some added controls. There's a big plosive happening right here, 5-second mark.
Is up and dies.
It's so bad that it's actually clipped the preamp, so what we can do is go into De-plosive right there. Again, sensitivity, how hard do I want to hit that plosive? In this case, I'm going to go to preset, strong removal. And this is really cool, this frequency limit here. This will allow me to sort of interpolate frequencies that might have been lost. In this case, we clip the preamp, so it's not something happening just at 100 hertz or whatever. We clip, so we might have interrupted some of the frequencies from 400, 500 up. So I'm going to set this to around 400 to sort of make up, reconstruct some of those frequencies that might have been interrupted by that plosive. So I can go in here and just hit process.
own anticipatize.
So it removes it without destroying the character of the audio, which is so wonderful. So that's De-plosive. So in the last like 8 minutes, I've taken care of sibilance, the plosive, the breath, and also we de-bled the track in an earlier demo, but the bleed is still on there here. But so yeah, composite view, de-bleed, all the stuff that I just showed you, and yeah, those are all available in RX6 now. So.